All right, here we go. AFC North, excuse me, finishing out with the Steelers. Last year, they were 13-3 straight up, 7-9 ATS, 10-5-1 to the under. They went over last year with their win total, and this year they are 10.5. Doable schedule, and maybe the team to beat in the AFC. I know it didn't work out in the playoffs as they got thumped at home by Jacksonville, but a lot to like here with that offense. Although I think you're a little bit concerned about the defense here. I got the turnover battle as well. They were +2 in the turnover margin, middle of the pack.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, Pittsburgh's season last year was very similar to Pittsburgh's season in recent years. They've made the playoffs each of the last 4 years. They've made the playoffs 8 of the last 11 seasons when Mike Tomlin's been head coach. I know there's a lot of Tomlin hate out there. It seems like there's a lot of Tomlin hate out there. 8 of 11 seasons he's been there, they made the postseason. Most NFL teams would be very happy with that. And they're looking at compared to the other teams in their division. During that time, Ravens and Bengals been in the postseason 6 times. The Browns, of course, have been in the postseason once since returning to the NFL. That came back in 2002. They're 17 wins better than the Ravens over the last 10 years. 11 years, I'm sorry. During the Tomlin era. There's something to be said for that. I mean, they haven't had the level of postseason success that Steelers fans have come to covet, I guess, come to expect. And while New England's gone on to all these Super Bowls, Pittsburgh's been there a handful of times during this span, but they haven't been the team out of the AFC like the Patriots have. So what are we seeing from the offseason? Fairly quiet for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They made some moves on the defensive side of the football, though. That's what they really wanted to shore up coming in the offseason.
I like what they did in the draft. They took Edmonds. They took Rudolph from Oklahoma State. They also grabbed Washington, the wide receiver. I think he could be a stud, and I think it's addition by subtraction, trading Bryant to the Raiders, as he liked to chirp and talk and became a distraction, too, on and off the field for the Steelers as well. So I think Washington can be a stud. And you might get how am I going to say this? Maybe a more energized or motivated Roethlisberger now that he has Rudolph in there, maybe to push him after all that talk about I might retire and I don't know if what I have left. That could be big, too, as they take a quarterback. Roethlisberger didn't like that, but still now it appears he's going to work with them and try to help him out. But that could help out Roethlisberger as well, too. But you got to love that offense with the weapons they have. Best wide receiver and maybe one of the best, certainly the best running back or one of the best with Bell.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you look at the skill position talent for Pittsburgh, this team's built to score points as long as the offensive line stays healthy. One of the issues they've had in recent seasons is keeping that time. It is the starters are top tier for Pittsburgh on the OL. Though once you look at the depth problems, once starters gets hurt, it's not pretty for Pittsburgh behind that starting 5 on the offensive line. But if Big Ben can stand and if Big Ben is motivated, because you're right, last year there were times he didn't look fully engaged. One would think this offense is built to score points. And again, defensively, you talked about the addition of the number 1 pick Terrell Edmonds, the kid out of Virginia Tech. He's a playmaker, and they got they got nothing from their safeties last year when it came to playmaking ability. So to see Edmonds on the one side, see the free agent pickup of Morgan Burnett on the other side, and John Bostic, who's look, he's no Ryan Shazier, but at least he's someone that can come in and perhaps fill some of that role for a guy that Pittsburgh really missed once he got hurt. And, of course, a guy who's not likely to be back anytime soon.
Schedule. AFC West, NFC South, 2 extra games. Again, Patriots at home and at Jacksonville. I like it over, Teddy. It's a doable schedule. They should be favored in 7 of their first 8 games. You get the Patriots at home, which could decide home field in the AFC. Gets tough later in the season at Jacksonville, at Denver, Chargers at home, and then at Oakland with that Patriots. But they should be able to get off to a 6-1 start when you look at the schedule.
Sure, but the back half of that campaign is tough. Look at that. You highlighted a couple of it, but look at Baltimore, Carolina, at Jacksonville, at Denver, Chargers, at Oakland, New England, at New Orleans. That's a rough stretch. They better get off to a hot start. I'll put it that way for Pittsburgh. And I know the prevailing wisdom. Look, this team is on, you can see it on the schedule right there. 8 o'clock, all the night games. What do we got? 5 night games for Pittsburgh. And then 3 more, 4 o'clock national TV starts. This team's on TV all over the place. The league wants Pittsburgh to be a competitive squad. They're one of the marquee franchises. I'm certainly not looking for a Steelers collapse this season, but over 10.5, I'm a little bit reluctant to go there, Pauly. Just not ready with the Steelers. They look to me like about a 10-win team.
All right. I like the over, and I think they win the division again. I don't care much for Baltimore. So that's I think maybe the team to beat in the AFC. Bortles has got to prove it to me again. Great job last year, but certainly they won because of their defense.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.